welcome back to Making Me Watch Movies. Ba-da-ba-da, starring Jay Golden, Matthew Schwartz, and me, Anthony Islami. The movie you're making me watch today is Save the Green Planet! Exclamation point. A South Korean film by Jang Joon-hwan.
Jang Joon-hwan.
Damn it! Jang Joon-hwan.
You did real good, though. That was a good intro.
Thank you. 2003 April release. Not that fucking matters at all.
April 4th, actually. Technically, just to be clear, if anyone's wondering.
What'd you think? What? There's a lot going on in this movie.
Yeah, this movie's a crazy one.
Ups and downs, a lot of what have yous, and alien.
Yeah, it got a little bit of everything. It was
What kind of movie is it, you think?
It was satire, right?
It did a really good job with like shifting genres. I feel like it held a light comedic tone. It was kind of a dark comedy-ish.
Definitely a dark comedy.
Yeah, but it felt like it had a wacky vibe to it that just felt like comedic a little bit throughout. But it did have that. It was had the detective film. It had the noir vibe at times. It had
American Psycho.
Yeah.
It felt very Coen Brothers-y, actually.
It felt very like they took
that.
a lot of little bits from a lot of different movies and put it in here, and they called it Save the Green Planet. Terrible name.
I don't mind
I
them.
don't like the name.
Why is it green?
It was a bad.
Because that's what the king of their species called.
Oh well,
it's a
does he
bad
not? Does he
translation.
know what blue is? Because the planet's pretty blue.
Maybe his eyes were more susceptible to the green color side.
Yeah, maybe he had more cones than rods.
He was alien, he was an alien. So
75th God.
I don't know how his eyes look.
So, what's the movie about then?
Well, this movie it opens up. Well, hold on. Before we go to that,
Here we go.
I will say that this movie kind of bends genres. So I've got a couple genres. I think it's comedy. Like
It's
it's
funny.
sci-fi.
I laughed
Yep.
out loud at some point.
It's got horror
definitely
elements.
sci-fi.
Yep.
It's got thriller elements.
Show enough.
And it's definitely dramatic in a lot of ways. So I think it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, well,
And
especially with his mom.
It's something that is cool because you can't categorize it, and I think that it's a audacious movie. I think it like dares to take you places, even though sometimes it doesn't seem very realistic, but it still works the story. Like there's two or three parts where I'm just like, hell is happening here, and why is it happening? And that would never happen. But I guess it really doesn't matter because like the movie you mentioned for American Psycho, like maybe this is all just had really. One of the explanation that is.
That would explain why it's so weird.
That would explain why things happen. So, like,
Such as
the bee thing is kind of like
killed him.
Went after him. It was a little comedic and comic booky.
Train those bees, dude. You can train bees to
You
do
train
that.
bees.
The thing when he jump started his heart kick chest again. I was like,
I think that could happen.
I mean,
It's like reverse John
could
Q.
happen, but I mean, would it
It's
happen?
like John
Probably
XYZ.
not.
What about her just being like a ballerina / circus actor?
That was great.
His girlfriend was weird.
Weird and out of place, but awesome. I think this movie is honestly, Jake said he thinks that it'd be cool if David Fincher directed that movie, and I agree because but can you
At
imagine if
times,
Quentin turned that pretty amazing?
Yeah.
I feel like it is kind of a Tarantino movie in that way, where it's just like in the way of his movies are a bunch of movies that he loves kind of mashed into each other and using references and using music from other movies and exact shots and all that shit. And I feel like this guy really,
did a lot
the dude
of
who
that.
made this movie really like, even in the end, like the whole 2001 Space Odyssey reference,
Yeah.
the monolith, and the
2001. There's
shit, you know
American
what I mean?
Psycho references.
yeah, with
there's
the shit he has, yeah.
Misery, stuff like
Misery,
that.
direct Misery references.
I even felt Goonies with he
Sure.
kind of reminded me of Data in the beginning with like that helmet and like just the silly outfit.
Definitely, or like Honey I Shrunk Kids.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's definitely a movie made for pop culture-y kind of audience because it had that even in the beginning, in the opening. All right, so let's go through it then. So movie opens up.
Well,
with,
I was gonna
All right,
gonna address like the Fincher thing because
Okay.
I think I said that because I think it would have been maybe I did like this movie actually first off, but I think I would have liked it more if it kind of leaned more into like the dark and like twisted a little bit instead of like I said earlier, it was just kind of wacky.
It was very dark and twisted though.
It was, but I don't know. Could have done more. Like if he was like a little more psychotic, a little.
It had a wacky
Yeah.
exterior, but the subject matter was twisted. Although I thought the end was just cheesy.
Well, let's not talk about the end yet.
Yeah.
Let's not
I guess
talk
because
about
there's torture elements to it, but I guess sure, let's get there. So go ahead and lead us off.
that.
Yeah, lead us off.
So it starts with
what?
meeting our character
Talking about
whose
the alien
name is
Boom.
whose name is Lee
His name in the
Byeong-gu.
film. Byeong-gu.
Lee Byeong-gu.
Yeah.
Byeong-gu Lee. Sorry, I always put the other one first. He is explaining to his wife, who we've come to realize both of them are a little bit off. His wife especially. She looks like she's in her own world.
I think this is his girlfriend.
It's his girlfriend?
I think
Fine.
so.
It's his girlfriend.
She's part of a circus family. We find that out later.
Yeah, she's a circus freak. She's doing things circus freaks do on the reg. Anyway, that's a little harsh. She's not really a freak. We meet these two people, and he's explaining to her his theory of how his boss, who runs a big pharmaceutical company is actually the prince of an alien species that has infiltrated the planet and is here to... What does he say they're here to do? Did they ever say that?
I think they're just gonna destroy the planet on the
Destroy the
eclipse. I think that's it.
Oh, yeah,
I think that was
okay.
the
He's
main
gonna
plan.
he's gonna make contact with the ship during the eclipse.
The prince.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's bad for us.
Well, I think he said the king or the prince is here, and he's gonna make contact with the king.
But
Yeah.
what does that mean, though?
I don't know.
But they were experimenting on us or something like that.
So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So what he tells her is that that's what's gonna happen. The alien, his boss is an alien, and they have to kidnap him and get him to. What were they trying to get him to confess that he was an alien, right? Yeah, trying to get him to confess that he is an alien so that he can save the planet. And so it opens up with him explaining that to her, showing her a slideshow. You get a background of this pharmaceutical guy. You kind of get a background a little bit into what their basic plan is, and you right off the bat you realize these people are a little off. Like I said before, there's just something a little off about him. And so he does that. He one night when his boss is drunk and belligerent, coming home from a night of drinking and not really tipping his taxi driver, he kidnaps him and he takes him to his lair and shaves his head and ties him up and tells him that he's a fucking alien and that he's gonna torture him, find out information that he knows he's gonna deny it, but
Yes.
yeah, they kidnap him.
yeah. And then what?
And to torture him, they have some kind of mentholated balm.
Yes, very weird shit.
And it's to get it into to be effective. You have three places you got to rub it: feet, the eyeballs, and ball sack.
And this is all
Or the
information
shaft.
this guy has.
General read.
This guy
Where
has
the fuck is all
collected-
this come from?
He's collected this over like 5 years of research into these. It sounds like a goddamn conspiracy theory. It happens to be true. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, like,
Conspiracy theory is happening.
He got really into
Is it true,
aliens,
though?
and then somehow it spiraled out, and that because he had that book about the alien.
Yes,
That was like a
communicating with
big
aliens.
yeah, like communicating with
Basically,
aliens.
his thing
And they have
is
pictures
that
of dicks.
Basically, his theory is that aliens are here to communicate with us, give us enlightenment, but because we're such terrible species that we don't see, not trying to get that.
He says that.
He says
He
that,
believes
yeah.
that.
And that basically is what ends up coming the truth. Because anyway, so
No spoilers.
no spoilers. So and this time that happens where he does this, he kidnaps him and he shaves his head and ties him up. Like there's just a little funny things that keep happening in the way he says things, the way he does things, the way this fucking guy lives his life, and you see this guy fight back against him, telling him he's not an alien and you shouldn't fucking do this shit to him. And you see his girl who like helps him out a lot with things, and she's kind of like the little bit of the brains behind his outfit sometimes.
There's
don't know
definitely no
about that.
brains there.
Well, she helps him out in a couple situations where he definitely needed her help.
She was just like entertaining him one time on like the tightrope. That was
Yeah.
that was a weird scene.
She's a circus performer. She's a tightrope walker.
She watches him. He's
And
babysits
she
this guy.
flips.
Kinda, yeah.
She does flips. But then during that circus performance, she had to help him go potty, which just involved her pulling his pants down, waiting until he was done flushing the toilet. But during that, he kind of convinced her that she should be there in more or less ways, right? He was
Yeah.
like, he's not doing this for you, speaking of the boy, her
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Well, another thing about this movie is we find out things in pieces of flashbacks about his
Yeah.
character.
He
First,
said-
what we found out here is that a girl he was in love with was killed somehow, and this guy was responsible for it, and he's doing it for her. That person he's doing it for
Was
his
killed
mom.
at-
well, no, this is his mother too. His mother worked at the
both of them,
factory.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Both of them.
Yeah.
But that's what he's saying
And
to
I
the
think-
That's
girl
what he's
right
telling
now.
her,
Oh,
though.
I
That's
got
why
you.
she
I
likes
got
him.
He's saying
Yeah.
he's not doing it
Yeah.
for you, he's doing it for his old girlfriend
Yeah.
who was
Okay, I
killed
see,
during
yeah.
this.
So
It
there
was
was
a
some
raid,
sort of
right?
riot
It
or
was
something.
like a
Riot, yeah.
protest
It was like
or
a
riot.
protest.
Yeah.
Was it a protest against that farm?
I think so.
I
Yes.
think it was,
Yeah.
it always was very
He remembers.
often related to the farm company that the old dude worked for.
Yeah,
Yes.
this guy's a bad man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which goes into you finding out that his mother also was poisoned by the company and is in a coma, and he is doing, and that's what you find out the actual, like, that's like the final straw for him doing what he's doing right now, torturing the guys, because mom kind of like set him off in that final path.
And that's where it gets.
Did he? Did she? Or did he just?
He
'Cause
he
seems
seems to make shit up. Or
Yeah, this is also where we see that a lot of this is in his head.
Yeah, because it's like, why is it the fact that he's kind of, it seems like a plan of vengeance, but it's also, he's saying that he's an alien at the same time. So that's kind of where I felt there was like somewhat of a disconnect, but not that it was what it was.
I was disconnected.
What do you
was,
mean disconnect with what? You liking it or understanding it?
No, like why that would be the same guy. Like he seems to be having, like what he seems to have two reasons to go against this guy. So then I guess there should be a disconnect. Like why he's an alien, but he happens to also be the reason why his mother got hurt. So it seemed like there was more to the plan than just him thinking he was an alien.
Yes, but this also goes to the theory that maybe all of this is in his head. He just made up these delusions so that he could justify what he's doing, kill all these people for his moms.
Well, that's what that guy, the king alien, it tells him that. He's like, this is all in your head. Like, you've done all these experiments and all these people have proved not to be from Andromeda, the planet that he claims that he's from. And that's what you find out slowly is that dude's just for a bit and is killed a couple people. And
Yeah, there's hints at that.
Probably
I mean,
like
yeah.
a lot. there's like
right,
hands and
yeah,
hearts
there's
and
probably like
heads
10
and
at
brains
least
and
10
shit.
people that
There's
he's
like
done it to.
fucking jars of people, body parts. Then the whole because I guess all the while there's like there's people investigating the missing factory owner or whoever this. He's a factory owner, right?
Yeah,
He's
Or
a
he's
pharmaceutical
he's the CEO of the company.
Big
That's right.
guy.
Yeah.
Big man.
Yeah. So there's the detectives also looking for this guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
Yeah, that's
detective.
kind of like the B plot that
Yes.
goes.
And this detective we meet is a very peculiar guy. Like some of the spots he's at, like fish place, like doing something with fish. What was that about? Was that just like sick job?
He just
or
seemed
what?
like I don't know. He's just like in a very eccentric detective.
Very
like he
eccentric.
took like whatever that pill was, and I never fully understood the
That's the
connection to
pill
that
that
whole thing.
our main character takes. They say
The
that's
main
why they're talking. Yeah, guy.
Pharmaceuticals.
He takes it to stay sane,
Yeah,
but he's
takes those-
completely,
that's like
but he's
his- that's
insane.
like crazy.
Shit ain't work, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's another message in this movie. This movie had a lot of messages.
Make farm.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was the whole reason they were talking about
Big
that. The whole scene
pharma,
about
dude.
it.
Oh yeah. I
Damn.
feel like that's what movie's about.
I thought it was about
plus
aliens.
Copying.
Okay. Copy Missouri.
At that point, when we meet the cop, we homeboy almost escapes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a fun scene. He how does he get out of the chair? Oh,
He
like,
breaks his thumb.
He breaks his thumb. He slips out. He grabs a drill bit, and then he attacks our guy. And then he escapes out a door, and he tries to go up, but there's nowhere out. That
He
door is
realizes
locked.
it's actually a cell.
Yeah, he locks the door behind. The guy locks the door behind him, and he's still. And that's when our police officer shows up, puts his fingers in the hole.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was pretty. That was like the more the suspenseful thriller.
Yep.
Had that kind
We
of
knew what was
detective
going on. Yep.
vibe, like no.
Misery vibe.
Yeah. For sure.
And that was a cool scene because he's trying to get out, and you're seeing him physically like try to get out and physically do things. And
He got that shot, so he can't like say anything. He can't scream like he was doing. He can
Yup.
only just like barely move his hand.
well, that's why when you step on his hand, you're like, oh, why didn't he scream? Then you remember he can't. You're like, that was perfect. That was great. There's a lot of circumstance in this movie, like that, just like a lot of help the character gets from just life and luck, I guess, in general, in certain situations, like the whole like turning off the TV remote with his foot thing or whatever. And it's a little far fetched, but I think that goes to the comedy of this. You mean?
Lady
it's the same
luck.
thing. It's the same thing in like fucking Pulp Fiction when he shoots Marvin in the face. It's like it's kind of the same thing.
Kind of shit happens.
Yeah,
but he's
shit,
also
yeah.
like it's his spot. He knows where everything is. Kind of has the lay of the land. So he does have the upper hand with everything.
Yeah. Another thing we've got to talk about too is we do see him have seeing things because he pretends at one point that he's in a kung fu movie. Like he actually gets in a fight in his head with the dude who is kind of his enemy, and he fights him, and he does like all kinds of crazy
Thought that
moves
was
and
a real
shit.
scene.
That was in his head. That was obviously in his head. Like
I don't even remember that scene.
Yeah, that was in the first like 10 minutes.
Oh,
of
and
the
it got
movie.
all like psychedelic. Oh yeah, the weird. It got to those like weird like, which kind of
Lady
buys into your theory
luck.
about the end actually, because it did kind of have that weird like.
I mean, he hallucinated his mom.
like cartoony
talking to him.
almost. at
Yes, he
times.
listened to his mom talk to him as well.
his mom explained to him everything. Mom was very expositional, right? And
Yeah.
then we like cut to him not, and then her mom's totally combing out to us.
Yeah, which find out is caused by this pharmaceutical
Boom.
company.
Psycho. Movies, all the movies.
It's a lot of movies. So this cop goes. So besides for this detective, this like old veteran detective, you come to meet a young detective who is a fan of this old detective because he's known for being kind of like a cool, kind of out there guy who solves a lot of cases that can't be solved. Has kind of like weird methods and shit like that. So this guy's really like, yo, fucking teach ways. I'm gonna help you out, kind of thing. Very, very in your face.
Called Teach.
And obviously this
played
guy's
by
like,
Ryan Gosling.
fuck this guy. Kind of like fuck this
I'd
guy.
cast
you know?
him in the remake.
That would be great. So he is you realize is gonna be like helping this dude out and trying to help him solve a case, which I guess is pretty comes.
He's gonna need his help. Lady luck.
Just,
Oh,
yeah,
so what happens now? What kind of torture shit you get
the
into?
crazy detective, or the more eccentric detective, he spends the night with him and all that, and
Yeah.
he ends up coming like kind of seemingly like
They get drugged together.
yeah, they party, they hang out, they seem to like each other. He doesn't really suspect anything. He's about to leave.
Well, he also tells him that he's very big into aliens. That
Right, that's true. That's true. Saw that.
The reason why he lives there, the reason why he does everything is because he thinks aliens trying to, like I said, come to Earth and tell us to
Yeah,
his people.
and there are the moments in that scene where, or that night where he almost catches him, like the
Yeah.
old dude is still escaped, but then homeboy like ties him up and shit in other ways, and then he's like just working on the mannequin. He's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?
He's
So
welding something,
yeah.
kind of like a Burning Man piece.
Yeah,
Almost looks like.
well, he's into mannequin stuff,
Yeah.
which is also weird in itself. But
he
he's
said
into
that was
mannequin
like
stuff.
his hobby, just mannequins.
No, he
Which
said that
is
was his
actually
job. He makes money doing
a reference to another film called Mannequin, or not Maniac.
There is a movie called Mannequin.
Yeah, there's that
movie
too,
called
and a movie called Maniac where the dude is like a serial killer that is like a mannequin maker. So reference.
Is that Jonah Hill?
No, well, Elijah Wood was in the remake of Maniac, but there was another Maniac, I believe, from like the
60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Is there one called with Jonah Hill?
Oh,
There's
that's
a
a
show
Netflix show, but
with
not
him-
related.
With him and Emma Stone.
Yeah, not related.
Gary Fukunaga, the guy, the first Detective.
Whoa! Watch language is a chill show. Like
Fucking kids
whatever,
want to
dude.
listen to this fucking shit, dude.
No one is this.
We listen to it in the car.
We're standing right here, dude.
Anyway, so what kind of torturing are we up to now?
If you listen to us, hit us up on
well,
Instagram.
not torture. The dude, the cop leaves and then finds the bone that the dog's chewing on, and
That's
that,
what he puts the old. And then he
Finds
finds the
skull
skull, and he sees shit.
He tries to call the other detective, and he gets a hold of him, but quickly he like loses signal, and then
B scene.
Bong Byeong-gu, our homeboy, he's got a fucking pack of bees that apparently he can control, and fetches or sicks them on him, and then dude falls off a cliff into a river.
Yeah, great
and
shot.
that guy dead.
The bees. This is another scene to where I thought bees were normally kind of like more comic booky than they should have been.
That was another one that I'm like, this is a little.
Didn't mind it,
This
but
is a little
it's definitely
goofy.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
like
haven't seen that happen before though.
swarming them's one thing, but it almost
In
like
real
it
life.
did like look like he made them go after that, like they were under control in a way. I think they could have just made that look more, I don't know.
I think to a lot of people that would turn a lot of people off too. It says suspension of disbelief. I think people don't like mix like serious subject matter of like murder with like something like that. I feel like how do you guys
mixed on?
I don't know. I'm
for
mixed on it. Sometimes I do. I'm like, choose a side. Is it real or is this fake?
give us an example of when it works, where it works?
Where it's mixed works.
Where it's mixed, but to a point where it's mixed just the right amount that you like it.
Fargo.
Bo's afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Fargo.
Coen Brothers stuff, like Fargo would be a good. Like there's a goofy side to it,
I
but
think
there's
Lebowski too.
Lebowski in a way. Lebowski's a little more comedy, but Fargo's that like dark story about like a woman like getting murdered and like disposing of the bodies and shit. All the twists and turns of that movie, but it's also hilarious. Characters so goofy. Like that's good balance of like dark and comedy.
Yeah, but what about like fantasy versus reality?
Oh, you're saying more of that. I'm sorry, I understood.
Oh, shit.
Or you're asking that alternative
Also-
question. Gotcha.
Like, is this real or fake? Decide.
Right.
Yeah, but I think if they set up that it could be one or the other. And
The Joker.
Sure. Yeah, I think that does it really well. Also, Jake Ladder. Another one.
No one's ever seen that.
I have Jacob's Ladder.
He's about old Tommy's chair. That one?
Sure.
Yep.
I think
Got him.
I've seen that one.
Anyway, I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like it because, and I think Ari Aster does it pretty well in Midsummer and even in Hereditary. It's where it's like things will happen and you're just not quite sure if reality or not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter if it's reality or not. It's something that he wanted you to see, and it's supposed to affect some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that.
American.
I think it's kind of cool.
America's like Def has that vibe. as well.
100%.
Like that don't that and like have not kind of it.
100%.
It leans into like no, it's headbutt. It's like it never answers.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about this movie is just the childishness of the main character doing what he's doing and the whimsical nature of film in general with the subject that it is. Because it's pretty dirty, pretty dark stuff going on. But it's
Yeah.
whimsical. It's fun. It seems like it shouldn't be as serious as it is, but it is.
I can see this have a big
Cult following?
a big influence on both. Afraid, sure. I can really like that movie and this movie have a lot in common. Is that how like it's about people who are really determined about the way they think is the right way and just trying to deal with it. I think this movie definitely is about this dude being crazy in the head for whatever reason, whether it be the experiments, whether it be that he's just naturally got his wiring all messed up just because it is how it is, and some people are like that, or it's just for the comedic aspect of it. Either way, it's done to me where it works really well. Like I was never bored with this, and like I said, even though there were 2 or 3 things where I was like, that would never happen. Why would I think that's okay to happen? That I didn't. It was okay. And I think if you do that, that's kind of not. It doesn't work for everyone.
What were those scenes that you were talking about?
Like the kicking of the heart thing,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that B thing, and then
That
I'd say the third one's. I had a third.
Get the end?
No,
Yeah, get
still
to the
got
end.
like another a little bit to talk about for the end.
Yeah, there's some goofy shit at the end. The end's pretty fucking goofy and all around.
No, talk about it before the end.
Hold on.
About it.
Homeboy
You
left.
rush it. This guy's.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Slow.
I don't know what to tell you, man. We're
Jake
just trying-
hasn't been hanging out all week. He don't know why he's
I'm
gone.
telling. So I'm
We're
telling.
just trying to just move along. Where are we at? Where are we at with this conversation?
You
Where are
both
we
are
at
saying
in the
nothing
movie?
right
Yeah,
now.
Where are we at
the
in
movie.
movie?
The
I'm
movie
trying to
was
talk about the good
is the
parts.
detective just died. That's where we kind of left off.
Detective
Yeah,
died.
the
First
Bees
detective
killed him.
just
Bees killed
died,
detective.
Bees killed him.
and he was able to slightly get a hold of that dude. And
So they
I
got
think
it.
he
They got an
did.
idea.
Yeah,
At
he
least
called 911.
Yeah, at least enough to where like that other partner guy was like,
I gotta go check on my guy.
Yeah, I gotta go out there, because I
Yeah.
think there's a different detective that's like, nah, don't waste your time. One of those detectives like, we'll find it, we'll figure it out. Because there's also a dude that Byeong-gu met up with in the beginning that worked at the factory because they were both the ex-factory workers, and they blamed the other dude. I think it was like dealer or something. The dude he was like buying
Yeah,
shit
he
from.
called him his supplier.
Yeah, supplier. Like that was going on at the same time. So that one of the cops like, oh, we got him, so don't bother. So there's that going on. Classic
Yeah,
detective
what was
stuff.
up with that little cop? Is he just like supposed to be like the guy who sucks that everybody has to deal with, like cliche? Is that
Kinda,
what
yeah.
that was?
I mean,
'Cause that's
I
all he
feel
did
like-
was gotta fuck with our guy for no reason.
Yeah, I feel like there's always that like detective in the
Yeah.
other in the movies that are like working kind of against the dude that like should.
Yeah.
That you're
Like,
kinda,
I know
like, rooting
better
for.
than you.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy. And like
but-
he was just that guy. He was the
Jaded.
older, jaded. Like let's blame this guy and let's wrap it up. And like
Yeah.
not actually doing the detective work. work. This
Yeah.
was this guy was the where we got to do the
This is the
detective
Willem
work.
Dafoe of
Yeah.
the movie.
Well, the
There's
old
a firefight.
yeah, the older detective was like kind of that like old school eccentric dude, and this other guy was like the up and comer. Like, we got to do the job right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, fresh off boat.
I would have casted like
Of
Brad
school.
Pitt and then like Jake Gyllenhaal coming up as a young and upcomer. Maybe someone, yeah, maybe even Barry Keoghan if we're talking Laganos related people.
Well, Lathamoth is going to remake this
Lathamos.
movie. Who do you think
Yargis?
is going to cast in it? Well, I've already read that Emma Stone's girl.
of course, Emma Stone's playing the girl.
Yeah, makes
Who do you
sense.
think is going to play the main kid, the main guy?
I want to go with Clement, dude.
Emma Stone's gonna play this.
The ballerina.
Of course,
Yeah,
dude. Of course.
yeah.
I vote Plemons.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be someone
Clemens?
big.
Because he's
Like,
about
I
to
think
he's
it's gonna
about
be
to
like-
work with Plemons or he just did work with Plemons in Kinds of Kindness.
I think it's going to be
Kinds of
like
kindness?
DiCaprio or what?
So I think that needs to be a little younger, maybe Coops, but I could see it seems to me need to be like a little younger, even though
I don't think it has to be.
Plemons
Yeah,
isn't
I
super
guess they are
young, but
kinda
like he's
younger.
kind of like a little
Plemons
younger.
will work.
Clemens looks
Clemens
old
works.
though.
Clemens would like he's a great crazy. He's like unassuming at times, but he's also like just tot him up, dude. Just make him tottish.
How about Anne Garfield?
You know, that's a good one too.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
that's a pretty good one. I could see that.
Who's going to play the old guy he captures?
What about Keenan Thompson?
Keenan Thompson would be hilarious. Guy
Ruffalo? Mark Ruffalo?
Ruffalo would
That'd
be
be
all
good.
right. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that'd be good.
that would be
That'd
good.
be real good.
What about is Willem Dafoe too old?
No.
Could be a Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe would kill that role.
Danny Glover.
That's a good
God,
one.
he's a little
too.
too old shit.
He is. He is.
Got him.
Got him.
Jack Nicholson.
He's
Copyright.
retired, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna see this movie 5 years in.
Anyway, so where are we now?
We're just talking
Pretty much
fantasy
the end,
casting.
I think.
No, stop trying to get to the end, dude. We still got at least 10 more minutes to the end.
Oh my
All
god!
right, we
What do you gotta
the-
say?
we-
No,
the
what you
the
gotta
new
listen.
detective got the word. So young and up and comer is going out there and he's going out now.
Yeah.
Because homeboy is dead and he knows homeboy's dead.
He's getting boots on the
so
ground.
he just
am I
got
right?
he got to put boots to the
No,
ground
start
and
up.
he's on his way out there now.
What a lady, what a night, am I right?
And the old and yeah, he's like, is this like the crucifixion time or was that before?
They crucify him.
Oh, yeah.
now.
Yeah.
That
This
was
shit's
the
pretty.
first
It's
scene.
pretty wild.
And
Yeah.
he hobbles him
Yeah,
misery style.
Misery
We also
style,
didn't
for
talk
sure.
about how he tried to stick a fucking probe up his ass, too. Lubed up probe.
Oh yeah,
was
that's
pretty
when
crazy.
he first
That was
escaped.
the first escape. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. So, yeah, he
Well, let's talk
misery-
about that.
he
It was
mis-
pretty good. He fucking had a 4-foot probe. It was just juicing up. You know.
Was that steam coming out?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
what was
Little.
that?
I liked how they had the little foot pedal that just kind of controlled random
Music.
shit. Yeah, she
Yeah.
she had it playing music. He had it shooting steam out of the dildo.
Yeah, also, they're obsessed with Over the Rainbow. Can't forget about
Over the
that.
Rainbow kept playing.
At
Oh,
least
Face Off.
2 or 3 times.
Face Off was
Oh,
a lot.
yeah,
Was
yeah,
referenced in this movie a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe not directly, but I thought it was.
Those scenes were.
Indirectly. Shooting the glass, for sure.
Shooting the mirrors.
Yeah.
The song Over the Rainbow during
Yeah.
fucked up shit.
Yeah.
All right, so at the end,
So, before we get to the end...
I know while the dude's crucified, he does trick the dude into killing his mom, telling him, if you give your mom this stuff.
well, is this when
She'll
he
fucking
says
eat
that
it.
he's telling the truth?
No, that's a little bit after this. This is when he goes back, and then when he gets back, that's when the other detective arrives, and that's kind of more. We're pretty much there now. Yeah.
Okay, so as he's being tortured, nailed to the cross, he
gets
says,
off.
"Go to my car. In the back, there's benzene,
Yeah, benzene or something.
and give it to your mom. It'll save her life."
Wait, calm down.
Go ahead.
While he does that, goes to the car, gets the benzene, and then inevitably kills his mom. He escapes. How does he escape? Jesus is off of there.
Yeah, I think he just rips
Yeah,
out.
he
He's
rips
like
out his
his
fucking
hands are
open.
still
Oh.
anesthetic. Yeah,
That's
that
what
part
he kept
was
saying.
gross.
He was like,
Yeah.
"It's numb. You're gonna be fine. It's numb. You're gonna be fine."
That was brutal. That was probably the most brutal thing in the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was bad. And then it cuts to him with his hands wrapped up, and what's he do at that moment? He gets electrocuted.
He tries to escape.
Yeah,
gets
gets
electrocuted.
electrocuted.
Is that when he gets his legs broken? That's when he gets his leg broken.
I'm not
That's when he
sure.
gets his
Yeah,
legs
that's
broken,
what-
and then he says, "I'm an alien."
Oh no! And then the other cop shows up too. After his mom dies, the young cop who's thinks the old cop dude, the man, he shows up there
Good plan.
in the middle of him torturing this dude.
Because
And
he's connected this guy to a bunch of other fucking murders.
oh
now
yeah,
at this
you also
point.
come to find out that this guy, our main character, has been doing this to people for like 5 years, and he's finally narrowed it down to this being dude killed a lot of people. I mean, from the looks of it, it's got to be
Yeah, I'd
10
like
people
a teacher
at
from the
least.
past. I
Maybe
think there was like
hundreds?
a
Because we
person he went
s-
to school with. There was another person related to the factory. It's
We
people he's,
see
like,
all the
worked with and stuff.
Polaroids.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
Yeah.
And then we see this diary where he like writes down all like, or I don't know,
think
we
it
don't
was,
know
like,
what he's
10
writing down in the
people.
diary.
Well, he's collecting just
Putting
data.
blood and
I
shit.
think he's just putting what he experienced aliens in there.
What do you
Oh
mean?
yeah, because all the he's thinking all these people are aliens too, so he's checking all these people for aliens. He's like, how many of these people? That's when one
Isn't that
alien
the whole
said
point
like,
of what
Also,
he's
when
doing?
he
yeah,
tortures him, he
that's
collects the data. He's like, 100 volts of this killed this guy, but you're 300, and he will survive. So he's torturing these people. He's putting that too.
No,
and
so
he's
he
trying
can
to
keep him
figure that
alive
shit out.
longer, torture him more.
I guess so.
You know so.
I mean, it's a
Were
thought.
all of these people part of the pharmaceutical industry?
No, there were some people related to like his childhood with like one of his teachers. There was like another student that he worked with, or
Which
that he went
also
to school
that
with.
leads you to having like
Well,
a
he
false
was-
It was all in those
narrator.
It
flashbacks,
shows
for
the
sure.
flashback of him like killing kids in school and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what
And
was
they
that?
mentioned,
We missed
like-
the flashbacks.
And they mentioned like one of his teachers was like missing, and that's like where he would probably be. There's like they mentioned like a number of people missing from his past.
What were some? There were flashbacks. What was one was
At
showing
school.
the protest of his girl
Yeah.
dying in
Yeah.
fire, and one
At school,
Yeah.
showed him at school being
Oh, yeah,
tortured,
being
being
tortured by his
bullied and
teacher.
shit,
Yeah.
and being
Yeah.
yelled by the teacher.
And then his father dying and
His
him
father
being
died.
close with his mother.
his
things
mom,
like that.
his dad got his arm ripped off in a mining accident,
Yep.
and then that led him to be abusive and rude and mean to his family. He used to beat his wife,
Yep.
and then it showed that when his wife defended this guy's mom defended herself, he fell over and was stabbed in the head with a tiny little
Umbrella for
pina
drinks.
colada umbrella.
which was pretty awesome.
How
that's
did
a
that
cool. That's a
kill him?
cool. It's a cool visual. That's a
What?
Such a
What
small
movie? Were we
little
just watching a
paperclip.
movie where they were talking about those umbrellas?
Yeah, it was called Save the Green Planet.
What would they say?
They said, "Look,
The
he's
mom
umbrellas."
made him. He had a
I
connection to
honestly
him,
don't know.
and then they
I'm-
killed
I
his
can't
daddy.
think of it.
Something else. They were like, somebody made these umbrellas.
Yeah, his
Somebody
mom.
made the wood make umbrellas. Yeah,
Oh,
this?
you kind of reminded me.
Yeah, I keep
I'm
trying to
remembering
think.
some now.
Right?
Yeah, and they like get
What
all
movie did we
like,
just watch? That we just did a cast.
got all like
Civil
deep
War?
on it, and like then this person did this part. But,
I think it was Civil War.
that's how I always think when I'm tripping. Like
I think it was
this
Civil
is-
War.
What
Was
might have
it?
been?
They had the umbrella.
Oh no, was it when we were talking about how they were off the guys? I don't know. That's weird. But I'm
If you
thinking
know-
Damn, I know like
flashbacks
we're
of it.
remembering something now.
If you know what we're talking about,
I know.
and you're still in
It might have
35
been,
minutes
might have been a
in.
TV show that I want to open up and focus on what we're doing.
All right, so we're at part of what?
The umbrella killed
Oh
his
yeah,
daddy.
killed his dad.
Is it El Camino?
No.
All right, sorry, continue. So yeah, the dad died via umbrella to the dome.
Yep. So this
Tiny
kid just
umbrella.
had a shitty
It's a
life.
fucked
That's
up
what
way
you
to go.
realize. His whole life is kind of shit.
Yeah, and then because of that, he was bullied and blah blah blah. Yeah,
Yeah.
bad life, real sad.
So that's where I guess you're showing that that's why this could all be in his head. Because I really cope with all that. So that might manage.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. They don't really push that at all. They
I
don't
mean,
really
we
push
see
that.
clearly he is delusional in
Yes.
a few ways.
Yes. What's your imagine on that?
Or do you remember the umbrella thing?
I mean, I think the flashbacks were probably real but I think all like the weird alien shit was probably in his head. But I think the flashbacks were genuine. Like this is why he's fucked up. Like there's a reason why this kid messed up the way he is. So
Yeah. I mean, we got all those reasons.
yeah.
Are we at the end yet?
I think so.
We're getting close.
All right.
So
what
I guess
were we watching at my house last night? I feel like it was something we watched 28 Days Later. Then what did we leave? What did we watch before you guys left? Was it that?
Dimitri Martin.
Or what did we watch right before 28
No,
Days
it was
Later?
Heat for
Heat?
like a
No,
moment.
it wasn't Heat.
Wasn't it? I don't 28 Days Later anyway.
All
Okay,
right,
back to it.
continue.
Sorry.
I think it was Civil War. Maybe not.
So yeah, so you fight the young guys there, the young cops there, and he's like, "Yo, I know what you're doing. I know this is the pharmaceutical guy we're looking for." Jigs up, and the guy's like, "Yo, he killed my mom." He's like, "I know, but can't have you killing people. You know he kills other people, so we got you." Guy pulls out a gun, shoots our main guy in the leg, and then what happens there? How does he get the upper hand? Does the girl come
Homegirl
back? The
comes out of
girl
nowhere.
comes out of
She
nowhere.
just suddenly
Hold on,
has
so this is
intuition.
one of those scenes that was
Yeah.
just like, where the fuck did this come from?
Well, she
It just- 'cause
feels
she
it, remember? 'Cause
bounces.
She falls off the fucking
Yeah,
tightrope,
she-
and she's like, "My honey's in trouble." I can
Exactly.
sense it.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, sorry,
all that.
yeah.
But it was like it was.
That was
She
weird.
bounces before when he says that he doesn't love her, and then it just cuts to her at a circus doing flips on the thing, and yeah, she falls, has a vision, says, "I gotta save honey," and then goes, "That's stupid. That's
She
stupid."
says that's stupid.
I'm saying that's stupid.
Oh, well, that's one of those other things. I think that's the other thing I was looking for earlier, was of not getting why
Yeah.
they put that in there. That was the third thing.
It's
But
like, where the fuck did this come
at
from?
the same time, it's like, I don't think this movie warrants you to think that. It's like, this is what it is. You know what I mean?
They could have not had that scene at all. Her just showed up when fine did a flip.
Yeah, that would have worked. Jake.
All right, I think they should cast Will Smith as the old man, and that's like his return to glory role.
Old man.
Yeah, the CEO. Yeah, Will Smith's
What
up
about
there.
what about Glory
Will
Holes?
Smith. Will Smith as the CEO, and that's like his return to glory. That's like he gets like an Oscar for it.
He already
right?
got an Oscar.
Well, he gets another one. Best
Oscar? I
yeah.
don't even know her.
I'm just saying.
I'm just
thinking-
gonna keep my
Will
name out
Smith.
of my mouth though.
Why not? So yeah, then
Will Smith? No.
that's at some and
I
finally
mean,
at this
the only
point-
person that would be perfect for this is
Chris Rock.
Data. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
That's our guy.
That would be the best.
I don't think they're gonna be Korean cast.
They can be.
He's not
Diversity,
Korean,
dude.
so perfect.
Sure, but
Oh, do you hate diversity?
I don't hate diversity. I'm just saying I don't think going to be a Korean cast. Why would they just remake it all Korean people again?
He's not
What-
Korean.
so you
Ki
just
Kwan's not Korean.
for the record,
know.
do you want the cast to be completely white?
No, I don't. I don't main character.
Just no. Okay, but just no Asians.
But what about Ki Kwan?
I don't think
you
Kwan's
just
gonna be in
keep.
this
We'll just,
movie.
you want to keep him out.
Not at all.
I think Data done. We're gonna hear from ever again.
What? He just won an Oscar.
I know, but he's gonna be
All right, so
forgettable.
no Ki Kwan, no Will Smith.
All right, just stick to the whites.
No, I'm not saying you gotta stick to the
Oh,
whites.
sorry.
Why
Okay.
do you keep saying
I
it?
think
What
that
You're the one
I'm-
saying that.
You're just the one
Push
saying
this
it.
on. Why?
Oh,
what
sorry.
kind of agenda
so
are you trying to
What
push
kind
right
of
now?
agenda, bro?
I'm the one who suggested Will Smith.
September 6th?
Yeah,
You try to cancel
but
me.
that was a bad suggestion.
January 6th?
All right, fine. I'm back to Defoe.
February 6th?
Back to Defoe.
All right, Jake, finish this up for us.
Dude's
We
an
have the
alien.
So anyway, yeah, our fucking bad guy, the guy who's convinced he's the alien, our main character's convinced he's the alien, ends up as our main character's gonna kill this young cop, being like, what? And I don't know what caused him to do it. I think he was just
He was
tired of
torturing.
hearing
He
him
was
fucking
He was all the torture.
the torture, and I think he was just tired of hearing his bullshit.
yeah,
his
there was.
righteousness.
Yeah, there was a big fight.
And what fight?
The big fight. The
Fight.
old guy fought the girl and then fought the guy and then he beat him up and became an alien. He left alien.
Yeah, so he explains his things, and he explains that on the 75th king of his planet saw Earth and was like, yo, I like that planet, I want to look at it. It's when the dinosaurs roamed the Earth. They beamed a dinosaur up to their fucking spaceship.
True.
And the crazy part is that they look like people. Human aliens look like us. And which goes to explain right now.
How convenient.
They infect the dinosaurs with a disease that they never had, kill them all, makes it that so a comet didn't kill the dinosaurs, it was these people. And then
Likely story.
because they feel bad about it, they give life to Earth, with they model after them. So a monolith with a billboard gives birth to a dude, and then eventually another one gives birth to a
What
female.
about the monkeys?
Well, that's later. Gives birth to a female, and then they flourish, and they create like a utopian society, and then it gets worse and worse and worse with
Evolution.
they reproduce in evolution, and humans become terrible, and they destroy each other by eventually nuking each other with a bunch of nukes.
You know, the
The
Earth.
flood.
And everything happens, and then somebody like Jesus or Noah, like whatever it is.
That was a Sig Noah reference.
Yeah, 'cause it's actually
submarine.
builds an ark,
Yeah.
the submarine ark, and saves each one of the species and does the thing they do. And then
It was real specific.
the aliens decide to give humans another chance, but for some reason something happens in the genetic code to where we first evolved to apes, and from apes you get who we are, basically saying our planet, if going by the evolutionary standards, I believe it or not. Us is what is
Evolution
we're
happened.
the bee humans.
Let me ask.
Didn't exactly
Let me
work
ask.
the way they
Bee
want it.
humans.
Just, do you guys believe that?
Do I believe in this movie, or do I believe in evolution? in
Yeah,
general?
100%.
No, what the alien said.
I like that could be a positive. I don't know if I believe it. I think that they
So
thought
we're
of that.
second gen
I'm
humans.
pretty sure this
It's
was
kinda
just
cool.
Scientology.
It's kind of cool. Is it? I don't know anything about
This is
Scientology.
pretty much just Scientology.
Prove it.
All right, let's look it up.
Go ahead, get into that shit.
Ray?
Ray,
Bring up the
Google it.
Google.
Bleep, bloop, bleep, bleep,
Yep,
bleep.
says right here.
You
Yep.
waiting for some?
I don't
Just-
think this is
just like
Scientology, Jake.
Scientology.
I don't think
No,
this
they
is
believe in like
Scientology.
people coming in from different planets and coming
your
to
business,
Earth,
Baldy.
so they make human better on Earth, and then that spirit will go to that other planet and to make that one even better than it already is. Something like that.
Sounds like a pyramid.
I gotta
scheme.
not say too much, or else they'll come after me.
Who's they?
The Scientology.
The-
You said it again. That was a test.
The,
and you
the
failed.
Tom Cruises. Can't say too much, but that's what I learned from South
Anyway,
Park.
so obviously he's still lying. And before he can kill the alien, the young cop comes in and kills old Bong-yo. What's his name?
Bungu.
Bong-gu. The young guy comes in, shoots Bong-yu to death. As Bong-yu's dying, he says, "Who's gonna save the planet now?" The guy is put in the car with all the cops, and before they can drive away, the alien ship comes.
And this is where the movie changes. And at this point, what did you think?
What do you mean?
He was
Like
right.
when they
He was
get
right.
zapped
He was
by-
right the whole
by-
time.
by lasers out of the sky, where you're like, "Oh, I knew it," or "Oh, what the fuck's going on?"
A little bit. Definitely not knew it. It was more of oh, what the fuck? Like, what?
about you?
I liked it. It checked out. It made sense.
But did you think it would happen like that?
I didn't necessarily expect the alien ship come. No.
Cool.
Once like the
I
dude,
didn't
once like the dude got struck by lightning, I'm like, oh shit, it's
Yeah,
the alien, of
you
course.
knew,
But like,
but you didn't expect that.
but I wasn't like
Yeah.
foreshadowing in my head like, oh, alien's gonna come scoop
God
this dude
damn.
up.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think that.
You know what I like about this scene too is that it looks like cheesy effects, and I kind of think that add to it. I think
looks
it makes
real
it
bad.
kind of cooler, but it kind of makes it cooler.
Sucks him up.
It's fun.
He ends up being the alien king, the
Prince
75th.
print of the Alien King, right?
He was right the whole time. Bong-gu was right the whole time.
I think
and
no. I think
Homeboy
he
was
ended
telling
up
the
being
truth.
the king.
He's the king.
He was king. 75th
king itself.
75th king.
So he's the guy who found the original. He's the original king, who found the Green Planet.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
And he's like,
Now that he's
I
up.
don't,
Now
I don't
he's
like it. Let's get rid of
Well,
it.
they asked him, "Is like, like, what do you want to do with Earth? And he's looking at his little umbrella thing. He's like, fuck it up.
Yeah, basically it's a failed experiment.
Failed experiment. Stop the experiments.
Fuck
blow it up, and
these.
they blew Earth up. They took a really crazy dick trombone kind of thing and blew it up.
Which is our last reference, maybe not the last reference, but Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Then credits rolled as they drove in outer
Hitchhiker's
space.
Guide came out after this. But the book.
Sure.
I thought this movie was great. I thought this movie was great because it was very original. It was chaotic. It was insane. It was stupid. It was funny. It was everything. It was cool. I thought it was fun.
Enjoyed it.
I think originality in features, films, and in movies is one of the hardest things to do, and this is definitely very. I know we talked about it took things from a lot of things, but it also took a lot of things, but made it an original story out of it, which was cool. I thought it was cool. I'm very much looking forward to the remake of it, told by Yorgos too. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, he'll make it wacky, just like this was pretty wacky.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it any more cohesive. That's
No,
for sure.
I don't think so. He'll lean into the absurd, which is, I think he.
What do you think Emma
it'll be a good
Stone's
time.
talent is gonna be?
Hopefully it's the same.
Same shit.
Just
dude.
tightrope walking.
Yeah.
Like a walker, Carney.
She better learn how to do it.
Probably will.
She better learn
Sure,
good.
dude.
I don't want to see any cutaways because let's be honest, that bitch did know what she did. Cut myself out enough for that, but there's no way
Didn't
she
know
was
what
flipping.
doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, there was cutaways to some toes and stuff,
Yeah.
and then just her close
No,
up.
I
want
to see Emma Stone doing flips on ropes.
Yeah, she could do
I
it.
like the
She
way
could
they
pull it
did
off.
it in this, though. That was cool. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it had a lot of cool cinematography too. They mixed a lot of cool stuff in there, a lot of cool transitions. They speed up the editing a lot. That kind of added to it. It kind of seems like independent filmmaking mixed with high budget filmmaking a lot, which I thought was very cool. I thought it was very well made.
A whole lot of high budget there.
Yeah, I think the production design, the camera movement, like it was very, very like seasoned and also mixed with like kind of experimental.
The transitions were wild.
Very cool transitions.
Very frenetic. Better than I thought. That's it. The end here.
What about you, Rap?
I liked it. It was enjoyable. It was fun. It was a fun kind of had some
No
like
easy-ass
weird
bitch.
twisty turny. It wasn't like crazy twist turns, but it was like there was little misdirects, some fun things involved for sure. I enjoyed it overall. It was a good.
Did you
good time.
see the end coming where he ended up being an alien? I know we talked about it a little before.
Not really. Just because it seemed like this dude is crazy.
Especially,
like
especially at the very end when
it
he was
leaned
getting
into
in
him
the
being
car.
crazy.
They
And
were like, all right, that's it.
And again, it seemed, and I like your point of like him. I think you kind of more said it was like this could have just been him dying in his last like images of what he was like thinking about this guy.
Who's going to save
yeah.
the world now?
And
that,
I like that theory. Like it's still in his head at the very end while he's just dying.
He was right.
Yeah.
He was right. He knows he's right.
But yeah, or if he's right and that dude's an alien, like that's kind of wild too. But obviously a little more far fetched. Lanthimo.
This dude, this was his first feature. The guy directed this, and he's made 2 since both South and South Beach.
Anything good? Seen him? Not seen him?
I have not even heard of him. I don't know if they're anywhere here.
Well, this is a good find.
This was, I was about to say, this was a hard find. You can't find this at on the internet except for eBay.
Where'd you get it?
eBay. eBay's
Oh.
the only place that had it.
Yeah, you can't buy the DVD on Amazon. Oh well, no one's seen this movie, and
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's fun.
This is
For
legit
$9.
making me watch movies. Go find this and watch it.
Yeah.
What do you guys
look
rate it on a
up.
scale of 1 to 10?
Give it like a 7-1, 7-2,
Okay.
7-1-2.
Okay.
6-8, 6-8-3.
Good, but not great. But I like what they're going for.
I'm going to go 7. I'm going to go
7-3.
7-3.
All right, we're all in
Solid
the
7-3.
same zone here. I like it. How agreeable.
I think the audacity of it makes it watch.
I wish they dubbed it.
Well, you're about to see a whole nother version of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing another. I was a big stickler for subtitles for a long time, but wacky movies, I think I let it slide with
Wacky
like,
movies,
dubs.
I will say that whoever did the subtitles, and it was like fucking Chip
Perfect.
and Joanne did the
Yeah.
subtitles or whatever it said at the end, but they were great. They were not literal translations. They were not what a South Korean person thinks that the Americans would say. They were like really, they were great. They were really well done subtitles, which is rare. Not rare these days, but there's so much. When I'm watching Netflix subtitles, you know, like those are Amazon subtitles. I'm not watching DVD subtitles.
Are you basing this off of like timing, or are you basing off of also visual too?
I'm basing it off of just like the things they were saying.
Okay.
Like,
Because I feel like sometimes
and
come up
timing.
with timing to where it gives something away, and then
Sure.
you're waiting for them to say it. You're like, well, that didn't hit.
I
the
don't
same,
watch
you know?
subtitles in comedic movies
Yeah,
for
you
that
can't.
reason.
And yeah, I mean, unless it's a Korean comedy, you have no choice.
But
Yeah.
this was done well. I guess what I'm saying is I'm used to Netflix generated subtitles where it's just kind of more not data. They're just much more clinical.
it leads
Whereas
you.
these were well thought out,
Yeah.
and that's just how they used to do things, especially on DVDs when they're like, here's
Sure.
the subtitle menu.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Those people did good subs.
I also think this movie had really good. We talked about it a little bit. A tiniest bit. Production design. I thought the production design of this house. I thought the Marie Cadman as a layer was dope. I thought that was fun. I thought it was really like brought you in the mind of this.
Yeah, I liked. It was almost like a interesting shift of like mad scientist to like psychopath that lives in the woods, and I like the jump between.
Even like that scene when the cop comes to investigate first time, he comes just running on track. That was That's a really good version. Yeah, that might be it.
I have no final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say that.
No
If you can find this
haikus.
movie, check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, or hit me up. I'll let you borrow the DVD.
Hit up Schwartz. He'll let you
Looking
borrow the
forward to
DVD.
watching the new whenever if they make it.
Yeah, we should release this when it comes out in 7
Yeah.
years. Shout out to Yorgo.